So the rumors about the can't even think what it's called now. The work stoppage for the MLB.
Right.
So I don't want that to happen.
You don't.
Nobody
you don't want baseball to stop.
Nobody wants that to happen.
When is the CBA expected to?
I think it's. Hold on, I need to double check. I think it's 2021.
Apparently, the players want to go on strike after the CBA, after the current agreement ends. So awesome. Perfect.
Not awesome.
I know.
Because nobody offers big contracts anymore.
Right.
So these players are getting pissed off, because everybody wants to fucking develop and trade.
I also think
December 1st, 2021 is the final day.
So we got 2 seasons.
Yes, so we're okay for right now.
Well, yes. It's either teams are... There's too many teams rebuilding, first of all. Way too many teams.
There is.
Orioles, Tampa, kind of.
Kansas City,
Miami, Detroit.
Yeah.
Even though they probably won't admit it, but they are. Pittsburgh.
Giants halfway.
Giants, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Padres.
Angels.
Because they're not doing shit with Trout.
Diamondbacks,
supposed best player in the league.
are on the fence.
Yeah, Diamondbacks are rebuilding. They didn't sign Corbin. They traded away Goldschmidt. They're rebuilding. That you get rid of your 2 best players.
You're right.
That's rebuilding. Giants. I don't know if you said them.
Yeah. Rockies maybe in a year.
Yeah.
So you
got Arenado or Blackman.
Seattle halfway.
You're right.
Because they're trading everybody, but then signing fucking randoms.
Well, they're also trading 4 people too.
True.
That's like 10 teams.
Just because
if not
he
more.
loves to trade. That's the only reason why.
They got 10 teams that are rebuilding, and then you have probably 25 teams, 24 teams that are in the middle of I think we're close, and then you got 6 teams that are World Series contenders. That's it. It's not as competitive. So these players are they're not getting paid because teams aren't spending money.
Because exactly. No team wants to spend money, so that's why the offseason
they're waiting and waiting and waiting because we saw this last year.
Last year was terrible too.
And now this year we're second week of January and Harper and Machado are still not signed.
It's just that
plus Pollock and
there's
Grandal.
A lot of young kids that are so good
that the teams are willing to take a risk.
The teams would rather do that
and then spend the money.
Spend $300 million on
but then they wonder why attendance is low.
Because they're not signing these big name guys.
Exactly.
So it works both ways.
These 10 or 12 teams that are rebuilding, they're seeing low attendance because they don't have a competitive team. And who wants to spend the money to go to a ballpark to see a team that sucks?
And now, what is it? Tampa, even though they're not...
you Jets fans.
Yeah, exactly. But now Tampa, even though they're not a bad team, they're closing the second tier of their... Right. The stadium, so that's, they're losing. That's 1,000 less fans a game. Granted, they only get 1,000 fans a game anyway.
But I also think the location for Tampa is bad.
It's terrible. No, it's really bad.
But all these other cities, like San Diego, I would go to a baseball game every day if I was in San Diego.
Guarantee you, if the Tampa Bay Rays signed Bryce Harper, that fucking stadium is filled up 90% of the time.
No, I honestly don't think so. It will be
first year or so.
It would be the first maybe month or two. And
I was going to say the first half of the season,
and it's going to go back down.
For all the first time fans who are going there for the first game of the season
to see
Bryce Harper, and then that'll be it.
I think they last a year.
No, I say first half, and then the rest. Yankees, Rays,
transplants,
Red Sox, Rays,
right?
And if they play like the Cubs or something like that,
or the Nationals, if they Rays
but other than that, it's going to be just say White Sox, unless White Sox get Machado, that's different. Fine, Royals, Rays, nobody's going. Who cares if the Rays are good?
Scouts barely want to go to that game.
Exactly.
We went to a Twins Royals game last year.
We did.
That was a trash game. That wasn't that bad. Jake Cave hit a fucking grand slam,
and then Fernando Rodney.
Oh yeah. Anyway,
close it up.
But
right.
If nobody saw, as you can, because Bill just did the arrow.
These small teams are complaining they don't have fucking players. All right, Pittsburgh then.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you have?
Pittsburgh's a nice ballpark too.
Archer, Marte, Polanco.
They're not
stars.
Archer's your biggest name guy, and nobody's going to plan a trip on to fucking see when Archer plays. I'm sorry.
I went to Pittsburgh by myself. I wanted to see the stadium. Regardless,
that's different. You're going to see every stadium.
I was Pirates Dodgers. It was a good game.
A fan.
Was that Nolan's no hitter?
Yes. It went into extras too. That game.
Oh yeah, okay.
A guy.
No, I went. It was sorry. 2 days before was a no hitter.
Oh, it's a Rich Hill one, right?
Yeah, I missed that one.
And he actually threw the no hitter, and then Josh Harrison blew it blew it for me like the 13th inning because the fucking Dodgers couldn't score. They're scumbags. Anyway, but a random fan, like a moderate baseball fan who's like, oh, I'll watch a game here and there, will not go to a Pirates game because Chris Archer's pitching.
No.
I'm sorry. Like, again, if they
Archer, I like you.
Yeah, but like if they get Machado, if they get Harper, and they start winning, guarantee you people are going to go to the games.
Like Yankees
last 2, 3, 4 years, Pirates are good. The stadium was packed because they're good and they had good. They had McCutcheon, they had fucking Garrett Cole, they had a rejuvenated AJ Burnett,
they had Marte.
They had
Marte was coming up.
Not a non-steroid using Marte. They had a non-drunk fucking Jung Ho Gang. They had all these
drunk. He's not drugs.
Drunk.
Okay.
Yeah. They had a stud Josh Harrison, even a good Jordy Mercer,
and they just got Cervelli, right?
And they just got
couple
Cervelli.
Years, yeah.
Like. You had all these guys on the team who were winning, and people want to go see that. But you're going to have all these rebuilding guys. I get it. It's going to take a couple of years, but
fans are impatient.
But that's why the Padres signed fucking Hosmer.
Right.
Guarantee that's why.
But the thing is, a lot of teams, even after they start doing good, they trade their young players
to start this clock over again.
Exactly.
The Royals did it right after they won the World Series.
Yeah, that makes some sense.
The
reason why for that is because Mike Moustakas was a free agent, Alcides Escobar was a free agent.
But they brought two of them back. Moustakas was on the team last year. Alcides Escobar was on the team.
Yeah, Alcides Escobar he doesn't count. I think we're better than Alcides Escobar.
Probably.
Moustakas, okay, good.
Right.
But you lost.
The only reason why Moustakas went back there is because nobody wanted to give him a contract.
We'll give him the money he wanted.
And he's like, might as well go play for a team that I know.
They got their money. Moustakas like, fuck, where am I going to
go? I think that's on ownership for not wanting to spend the money to keep the fans there.
That's what I'm saying.
Just for the players. I agree.
It's not the ownership.
Yes.
I get you want to build a team up, but you have to do something.
This is when they win the World Series, 2014?
Yeah, I think so.
So we're going into the fifth season, or technically fourth season after they won the World Series, and they're going to be last place by how many games?
A lot.
That's insane. Yeah. That is
this is
utterly
Hosmer's first year, right?
No, this is
Hosmer's second year. Second year.
No.
San Diego.
Is it?
This will be a second year San Diego.
I thought it was his third.
No, this will be a second. They didn't win the World Series his last year. The year before that they did.
Yeah.
They had one more year after.
So they had one more year, and then they all despair. All went to
but still, regardless, whatever the timeline is, 3-4 years after winning the World Series, and now you're bottom of the barrel team again?
No, just like the Mets last year. Mets went to the World Series.
Yeah.
And then next year went to the wild card. And then what happened after that? It's... the teams aren't they want us fucking
good, but the Indians, best team in the division, and they're thinking about trading their pitchers.
See, it makes
why? You're guaranteed to win that division.
They're in the worst division of baseball.
Yes. NL West.
Now it's so weird. We talked about that because NL West is the best division last year.
Yeah, now it's one of the worst.
But
they're guaranteed to win the division. They have probably the best offense. Well, one of the best offenses.
One of the best rotations.
Yeah. And they're thinking about trading their pitchers for what reason?
Save money.
Well, same thing with the Diamondbacks.
Bullshit.
They trade Paul Goldschmidt.
Yeah.
They're trying to trade Zach Greinke. They
didn't sign Corbin back. They're not signing. Most likely not signing Pollock back.
Right. Which I don't get it.
It's just that these ownerships don't want to spend fucking money anymore
because they want to put it in their pockets and not.
Yeah, and not they don't care about the fans. Team. They don't care. Well, most of them don't care about the fans.
No.
I get New York, the Yankees. You have to spend money because you're in New York.
That's not true to the Mets, but
the Cubs,
you're in the Bronx.
you're the biggest team in Chicago. You have to spend money. L.A. Dodgers, L.A.
Yeah, you got to spend money.
These
Phillies, you're in Philadelphia.
Philly.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's just
it sucks.
Everybody should be even fucking Cleveland spent money last year. Come on, Cleveland spent money in football.
Yeah.
These teams, all these shitty teams should do something. I get
what are the Giants?
The thing is, the players don't want to go there. That's why the crappy
because of the money.
Paying.
Maybe they're not getting paid enough.
The thing,
offer them a little more.
Well, now Machado might change that if he goes to White Sox.
Well, which I want him to go to the Yankees. I really do. But at the same time, I kind of want him to go to the White Sox.
Change this.
So it gives another team fucking
chance.
Yeah, so it's not just a fucking 3-team race in the AL. But not just the Yankees, Red Sox, Indians, and Astros.
Well,
four. All right, 4 then. Sorry. Maybe not Indians.
Right, if they trade Bauer and
they're trading one of them, not two.
Oh.
So
they're actually thinking about trading both.
I think it's me Kluber to LA.
But I guarantee if you give Manny Machado $400 million in Miami, that motherfucker's going to Miami. He's going to. Because, one, he wants the money. Obviously, if he's not going to take
it. And Miami is not a shitty town.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, 1 million.
It's
Miami
a huge Dominican population,
Miami wouldn't do that. But two, like
which this whole conversation is about. Why Miami wouldn't do it? They traded all of their players. Well, Miami. I think Miami started this.
They did.
Right. We've talked about this
Miami
before.
and Tampa.
Yeah.
And then Tampa ended up being good.
Right. And we talked about this with we went for Miami. Yelich, Ozuna, Bohr, Real Muto, I think was his first or second year. Stanton, obviously.
Jose Fernandez, Bull.
Rip.
I honestly think if he didn't pass away,
But then you trade all of these guys or don't sign them back, and now look where these players are.
Well, that's not even for that. Even before that, when they traded fucking Jose Reyes, Mark Burley,
that whole trade with the Mets,
they traded everybody after a year. Not even.
Was it the Mets they traded him with, or Toronto?
Toronto. They were on Toronto for a year, and then they traded for all the same players basically to Miami, and then they traded them all away.
Right,
basically.
After the
where did
Jose
Reyes go? Jose Reyes stayed, right?
No, I thought
he got traded to Toronto.
No.
Yeah, he went to Toronto.
I thought it was the other way around. Toronto and then...
No, I thought...
he went to Miami for a free agency, wasn't it?
They signed him.
For 1 year, then he got traded to Toronto. That's what it was. Him and Mark Burley got traded to Toronto.
Yeah.
They all
and Josh
signed.
Johnson.
They
dumped everybody they got. Heath Bell. They dumped everybody after
1 year. Yeah.
After a year. Like
Ozzie Guillen was the manager.
Oh my God.
Like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
Like you gotta give.
And this the first year of the new stadium?
Yeah. Like you.
Well, that's a monstrosity under itself.
Stanton and Logan Morrison. Did they get anybody good back in any of those trade?
No.
I can look actually.
But yeah, the whole thing is the ownership is greedy. They don't want to pay the players. The players possibly are asking too much money. Who knows? Well,
yeah, you're playing baseball. You need $400 million. Calm down.
It's a long ass season.
Let's see.
And it's probably the healthiest sport to play. Yeah, you don't get hurt.
Miami Marlins
unless your name's like Jacoby Ellsbury or Troy Tulowitzki.
Jose Reyes, Josh Johnson, John Buck, Emilio Bonifacio, Mark Burley to the Blue Jays for Justin Nicolino, trash. Jeff Mathis, trash. Jake Marisnick, trash. And Daniel Echeverria, Yunel Escobar, trash. Well,
at the time he was okay.
Yeah.
Anthony DeSclafano, where is he now?
Cincy?
Henderson Alvarez.
I don't know.
Hurt.
Right. He was good. But
Henderson Alvarez almost no hitter.
You traded all those guys for all those guys. And nothing.
Toronto got the better deal, but
for how long?
For a year.
Well, they were at least competitive for a couple of years with those guys.
Right.
Then they traded but then they traded Noah Syndergaard and Travis d'Arnaud for
R.A. Dickey, yeah.
And that just fucking...
Imagine if Blue Jays had Syndergaard right now.
With their current pitchers. Yeah. No, they probably would have traded Syndergaard because they wouldn't afford him.
They probably traded him earlier.
Yeah.
Because they were trying to rebuild.
Yeah.
We didn't even mention Toronto in the rebuilding thing.
Baltimore.
Well, yeah.
Well, Baltimore's not even rebuilding.
Baltimore's doing.
They have no foundation. They're not even...
They're dead. They're like
Baltimore's a bunch of fucking high schoolers.
Weren't they rated the worst sports team in all of American sports
last year?
Yeah.
And Chris Davis is the worst offensive player in Major League Baseball history.
He's up there.
Like you're spending $50 million.
He's better than Mike Trout. Oh God! I know. If I was serious about
unless you're talking about Crush Davis, you have a little bit of an argument.
No,
he's still hitting 260. But yeah, it's just upsetting that. I mean, the ownership greedy. We get it. The players they're probably at fault at some point.
They need to fix this next year.
Yeah,
and then
because
agree nicely.
The good thing about baseball is that there's so many spots open. You have 30 teams, 9 spots for offense, and then 5 spots for pitching plus bullpen. So there's a lot of room for
you got minor leagues too.
Right. You don't have minor league in football. You have the shitty G League in basketball.
D League, right?
It's G. They switched it.
Yeah,
Gator. Yeah. I don't know what hockey's doing.
Hockey has they have like a
that's
minor.
Not a real sport. I'm kidding.
They have a minor.
Right. Yeah. But baseball has this huge development, and I get that teams are willing to spend more time investing in their younger players because you're getting players from all over. We just saw Yusei Kikuchi from Japan come over. All the Dominican guys.
They just signed the deal to get Cuba now.
Right. Yeah. They just have that agreement that teams don't have to, or players don't have to risk their lives.
Get these younger guys. But they're not going to come up for a few years. You need something to play right away.
But that's the team. That's why the teams are. The ownership is content on sucking, and then these players come up.
What if they do the expansion teams?
Which I appreciate the part where the Rule 5 draft is because teams can only protect a certain amount, which allows shitty teams like the Rays or the Royals to pick out the good prospects. Whatever, they were online.
Yeah, they were shitty.
Yeah, that you could pick out the good prospects that a team can't have, like they can't stock up, and allows you. Oh, this guy's a good prospect. Maybe next year he'll play. But again,
Rule 5, you have to be on your major league roster.
Right. So I said teams only have 40-man roster.
Yeah.
Whereas Is it the 40-man or the 25-man?
It has to be your 25-man roster.
Okay.
Or we have to go back to the team.
Right.
For a certain amount of time. I think like
right, but the team that they're picking it from, they have to be on the 40-man roster.
Yes. Well, yeah.
Right.
So say the Yankees, or say the Rays picked a player up from the Yankees. Rays have to keep him on the 25.
Right.
If not, they're Yankees to keep him on the 40.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's still a lot of players that teams can't pick because you have the 25-man roster that you're keeping, and that leaves 15 other minor league spots. There's more than 15 minor leaguers. Mm-hmm. So that's why these teams are picking from the Rule 5 and just investing in those prospects and still not spending the money for free agents. I'm waiting to see how long LeMahieu and Pollock and Lowry all go before they sign. Because those are good players.
I think Lowry's
they're all good players. Yeah, they're all really good. No, they're all like,
but there's no
contributors too.
Right. I mean,
nobody talked about Jed Lowry. Nobody talked about except for the Rockies recently.
Nick Markakis, Asdrubal Cabrera. These were starters and perennial all-stars last year. Maybe not Cabrera, but Markakis made his all-star.
Cabrera was almost all-star last year.
Yasmani Grandal. Granted, he's asking an asinine amount of money.
That's his fault. He declined the contract.
Yeah, 4 years, $60 million. Take that. But Lowry, Moustakas, Marwin Gonzalez, Ottavino. I don't know. Keuchel.
Fucking Derek Holland.
Gio Gonzalez. Adam Jones.
Yeah, actually,
you can build a solid team with these players that are left.
Speaking of Derek Holland,
give me an expansion team. I'll sign these all.
Talks with him.
Who?
Derek Holland.
Derek Holland. Yeah, the Yankees want to talk with him for just in case CeCe's not healthy.
Right, which he's resuming baseball activity, so good for him.
Yeah,
but there's actually a strong rumor that Derek Holland's going to Texas. Like he's basically like close to signing. Apparently.
So looking at this, I'll put Grandal behind home plate, Lowry at second, Moustakas at third, Marwin, shortstop. Maybe I would put LeMahieu at second. You got Keuchel, Gio, and then you have an outfield of Pollock, Adam Jones, Nick Markakis.
It's a good outfield.
That's insane.
It's an older outfield, but it's a good outfield.
That'll get by for 2 years.
Yeah. So do you think
Pollock and right, Markakis, maybe Pollock and left, Markakis and right, Adam Jones in center.
Yeah, I would probably stick Pollock in center and Jones
and right, Jones and left.
Yeah,
sure.
or whatever.
Markakis right.
Do you think if they add two more teams, like say this year, do you think the collective bargaining thing won't happen?
Ooh, that's tough.
Because
we need to have two.
One. I don't think one has to do with the other.
You don't think? Because I think those new teams are going to want to prove something. They're going to spend more money.
Well, no, they're going to have a draft.
Well,
they're going to draft,
but after the draft,
they're going to have the what do they call it?
They can still sign
what they did with the Rockies,
right? But what do they call it? Not the competitive draft, the even playing,
something like that. I know what you mean.
Not even playing field draft. That's a stupid
Similar,
name,
though,
but something that you pick out like a competitive draft.
Is it the Rule 5 draft?
No, that's something different.
So how do they grab the players from other teams?
We did talk about this that one time.
What, the expansion draft?
I think a team can only keep like
the thing we just talked about. You're talking about?
Wait, what are you talking about?
No, expansion.
Oh, okay.
A team can only keep their 25-man.
I'm pulling it up for who was the most recent? The Rockies,
Diamondbacks.
Diamondbacks.
Yeah. D-backs. It wasn't Rockies.
Yeah, it was.
No, Tampa Bay.
Yeah. It was
you're right.
All right, so it was a 1997 expansion draft. You added, Tampa Bay and Arizona were the two new teams, and then following the success of the 1993 expansion of the Rockies and Marlins,
that's what I was.
They added two more teams in Tampa Bay and Arizona.
Surprising with the Tampa.
So Devil Rays and Diamondbacks could pick any player not on the protected list of the other 28 teams.
So nobody. On
although no team could lose more than one player in a given round. Mm-hmm. So protected list consists of, for the first round, 15 players from the rosters of the entire organization, both the 40-man plus all minor leaguers.
So they could pick 15 people that they can't protect.
Yep. Or they can.
That they can protect out of 40. Only 15.
Mm-hmm. On the whole entire 40-man roster?
Yeah.
Jeez,
for the first round, 15 players from the rosters. What would
the Yankees and the Red Sox do?
Of their entire organization.
Because Yankees and Cubs. Because they have...
The next rule, each team could add 3 more players to its protected list after each round. So they lose one, they can add 3 more to get protected.
So Yankees like, all right, we'll add Clint Frazier to this next round or something like that.
You could add 3. So essentially,
Clint Frazier, Chance Adams, and
because it's only 2 teams, they could pick out of 30. Or
right, they have 30 teams, so the odds of your player getting picked is 1 of 28.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Well, 1 of 20.
Unless you have a fucking stud, but if you have a stud, he's not gonna. You're gonna.
And then third rule. All players in an organization were eligible to be drafted except those with no prior major league experience who had less than 3 years of service if signed at the age of 19 or had less than 4 years of service if signed at the age of 18.
Most of the minor leaguers can't go.
players who were free agents after the end of the 1997 season need not to be protected. So they didn't need to be protected because they were not on the team.
Yeah.
Let's see the results. Jeff Suppen.
He picked first.
These are some of the... here we go. First pick... so it goes Tampa, Arizona, Arizona, Tampa, Arizona, Tampa. So it's a weird order. Tony Saunders, Brian Anderson, Jeff Suppen, Quentin McCracken, Gabe Alvarez, Bobby Abreu was picked from Houston. Jorge...
It's Tampa, right?
Jorge Fabregas, Miguel Cairo, Karim Garcia, a different Edwin Diaz, Bob Smith.
No, he played back then, you remember?
Dimitri Young, Esteban Yan, Emil Benitez.
How many rounds is there?
That was the first round.
Jesus Christ.
There were 28 picks because each team, there's 28 teams, so they had to pick a player from each team. So there's 28 picks in the first round, another 28 in the second round. Yeah, 28 in the second round. How many rounds? 3 rounds? Yeah, 3 rounds, 70 total picks.
So each team loses 3 players?
Yes.
No, it's not too bad, though.
No. So at that point, it's not bad. But then...
Bet you Yankees won't put Ellsbury on the protected list. Right.
So that means, so 70 picks, 2 teams, that's 35 players each. And then you sign the rest, you draft your minor leaguers, sign your free agents, whatever.
Yeah.
So if they do this again, more minor leaguers and maybe some of these aging veterans will get a spot with these 2 new teams.
Yeah.
Because you get young guys, minor leaguers, maybe some MLB ready. And
then say a team goes to Vegas. Vegas is going to want a big name guy. So I could see them going after Bryce Harper. They have the money because they're a new team, but they're going to have the money. They're Vegas.
Right, because everyone else is young.
Exactly. You have all these young guys. You sign Bryce Harper, boom. Everything gets recycled again, and now you have another fucking big team. So,
but I also think that the opt-out clauses in these contracts ruined it too.
Yeah, there's too many opt-out clauses.
Because there's a lot of people moving around. Like, there's not that many people staying with their current team. Kershaw, Bumgarner, Posey, I don't know, Jeter, obviously.
Yeah.
But not many. 1, because of trades and teams rebuilding. 2, players are opting out and want more money and are done with the current situation.
You don't get many players that don't care about money.
Right.
Like Votto.
Right. He's happy being on the Reds. Which at this season I would.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hopefully it pays off for him.
But we got 2 seasons left.
Hopefully not.
Oh, yeah, right.
Hopefully the expansion happens, though. I would like
hopefully
to see
the expansion. Hopefully they could work something out.
It would take about 2 years for it to fully develop and everything. And plus,
find
if they're
team,
talking about
bid
it
on
already,
a city, stadium building.
Do that this year. Right. Next year, set the stadiums up, start building.
What do you think in Vegas and where?
Oh, I don't know if it was Vegas.
I'm just saying. Where would you put?
I would put one in Vegas, and I would then finally give Vegas back. Get the Mets away from the Vegas minor league, which makes no sense.
Right, that whole thing too.
It's stupid. And then I'll do Vegas if it's staying in the U.S. I'd say Vegas and what about like Portland?
That's to the west though.
Well, you could put the Vegas in like a NL Central.
You could, yeah. What about the Carolinas?
That's true. We can do that.
That's putting it on the west or east.
Okay.
We need one east and one west. Yeah. So what if you do? Well, you technically can move a team from the NL too.
Right. I mean,
if you want,
if they add 2 more teams, that'll put it at 32. I think they go with the.
I think they do another Canada team.
I think they go Mexico City.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Montreal again.
I think they would go the other side of Canada. If anything, Vancouver.
Think so?
West Canada.
I say one Canada, and I say honestly, I think Vegas would be a good team.
I think Mexico City's in the running though.
So do I.
Yeah,
but I think if they do add 32,
Louisiana.
If they added 2 more teams, they'll have to realign and be like football, 4 divisions.
Like we said that
we talked about that, yeah.
But we'll see. We got to make it through these next 2 seasons before they're... And hopefully there's no strike.
I just want more teams to fucking start signing some stuff. Like,
I know.
Like, I don't care who. Anybody. Miami, fucking sign Pollock. I don't give a shit. Do something. Spend some money.
Not happening.
Somebody spend money. Come on. Watch, we're going to go off the podcast like
and 7 everyone's
signing. Bryce Harper signs with so-and-so.
Bryce Harper signs with Miami.
Right, let's see.
Machado signs with Padres. Like, holy shit. Keuchel signs with Reds. Marwin signs with Pirates. Holy shit.
Nothing's going on.
All these bad teams.
Let's go.
Royals get everybody else.
Yeah, nothing happening.
Nah. All right. Hopefully we get some more stuff next week.